In a related development, the former Kaduna State Governor, Nasir El-Rufai, has thrown his weight behind ongoing calls for the mandatory electronic transmission of election results. El-Rufai made this position known during a virtual interview on Trust TV's 30 Minutes with Mannir Dan Ali, where he also spoke of his relationship with President Bola Tinubu on the issue of God-fatherism in Nigerian politics. Dorcas Yakubu has the details.
According to El-Rufai, the All Progressives Congress APC is behind efforts to frustrate real-time transmission of election results, adding that political interference continues to undermine the country's electoral process.
It's unfortunate I have not been able to return to Nigeria before today. I would have joined Mr. Peter Obi and other party leaders in protesting to the National Assembly to restore the real-time and mandatory transmission of results from the polling unit. It is the only way we can stop the manipulation that goes on in the collation centers. That is where the real rigging takes place. Rigging doesn't take place in the polling unit. It is in the collation centers. And this provision, which has been passed by the House of Representatives, but sadly being frustrated by the Senate, would have improved the quality of our elections. But we all know why the ruling party and the sitting government doesn't want that, because they know they can't win the elections. And the only way they have a fighting chance is to be able to manipulate the results after people have voted.
The former governor, while also reacting to reports suggesting a fallout between him and President Tinubu, dismissed the claims, saying there was no personal rift, but rather differences in views on certain national issues. He stressed that he was never a close friend of the president, explaining that his support for Tinubu was based on appeals from Islamic stakeholders in the Southwest.
There is an assumption that I was ever Tinubu's friend. I was not. We never got along with Tinubu. Okay, we never had a personal relationship. We never had a prior relationship like the one I had with General Buhari of blessed memory. Okay, so I want everyone to understand that. For me, Tinubu was initially an aspirant of the party, and I was approached by certain Islamic stakeholders from the Southwest and asked to support the emergence of a Southwest Muslim presidential candidate. That was how even the discussion started. I knew that we had an understanding with the South, or specifically the Southwest, that after 8 years of Buhari, power will go to the South. It was a matter of principle. I stood for that. It wasn't about Tinubu. Tinubu just happened to be an accidental beneficiary of that.
On the issue of God-fatherism, El-Rufai maintained that he does not believe in the practice, describing it as detrimental to democratic development. He also clarified that Kaduna State Governor Ubasani is not his godson, contrary to widespread public opinion.
I have never believed in godfatherism. Never. And I was an outspoken opponent of it. I even went to Lagos and I answered questions about godfatherism that led to attacks from the nation. The Tinubu wolves, went after me because they thought I was talking about him. But I was talking about a principle. When you have power, exercise it for public good. When you're done, leave. I made it repeatedly clear to Ubasani before his election and after that as soon as we get you elected, we hand over, I'm gone. I will not even visit Kaduna for the first 6 months to give you space to settle down and carry the burden of your office. I'm not interested in being a godfather. I don't want to control anybody.
El-Rufai's remarks come amid renewed national conversations on electoral reforms and transparency ahead of future elections. The call for mandatory electronic transmission of results continues to gain momentum as lawmakers consider possible amendments to the electoral framework. Dorcas Yakubu, Trust TV News, Abuja.